The Forest Beyond Time. Chapter 5. The Root of Shadows. The eternal forest was restless. Its leaves rattled, though there was no wind. Its roots shifted, though no foot pressed the earth. Isabel stood on the castle balcony, listening. Something stirred beneath the ground, something deep and old. Rowan came from the glade, staff in hand. His face was lined with concern. "The forest has a wound," he said, "not on its surface, but far below." Piper fluttered down from a branch above, starlight trailing faintly from her hands. She landed lightly on the stone rail. "The squirrels say they've heard whispers in the soil," she said. "They're frightened of the roots. They say shadows move there." Isabel nodded slowly. "Then we must go below. The forest is calling for us." They journeyed to the ancient oak tree at the centre of the woods. Its trunk was hollow, its roots twisting like a maze. Rowan traced the lines of the bark, murmuring words older than the trees themselves. A passage opened in the soil, dark and cool, leading into the earth. Together they entered. The air inside was damp. Roots hung like ropes, brushing against their shoulders. Piper's faint starlight guided the way, casting soft pools of glow. The deeper they walked, the heavier it became. Whispers echoed all around, though no mouth spoke them. Isabel's presence kept the air calm, though even she felt the weight pressing close. At last they reached a cabin. There, coiled around the heart root of the eternal forest, was a shadow. It writhed like smoke but clung like vines, its darkness seeping into the root itself. Rowan frowned. "This is no simple curse. This is hunger. It feeds on life." Piper's voice was barely a whisper. "If it eats the roots, will it eat the whole forest?" Isabel stepped forward, her gaze steady. It would, and the forest would fall silent forever. The shadow stirred at their presence, swelling larger. It lashed out, tendrils of dark striking the air. Rowan raised his staff, shielding them with a wall of bark and stone. The impact shook the cavern, roots groaning with the strain. Isabel's voice rang clear, steady as the tide. You have no home here. Leave, and the forest will forgive you. But the shadow laughed without sound. It coiled tighter around the root. Piper lifted her arms. The last of her starlight sparkled across her hands, scattering like tiny embers. She cast them onto the root where they clung, shining against the dark. The shadow hissed, recoiling. Rowan pressed his staff to the soil. The ground rumbled as roots above responded, lending their strength. Hold fast, great tree, he murmured. Do not give yourself away. Isabel stepped to the root, laying both hands upon it. Her power flowed steady, calm as breath, filling the wood with peace. The shadow writhed, torn between the three forces. It thrashed, striking, but each strike met Rowan's wall of roots. It reached right for the faint starlight, but Piper renewed it with every beat of her wings. It tried to choke the root, but Isabel's touch brought balance and stillness. At last, the shadow shrieked without voice and tore itself free, unravelling into smoke. It fled into the cracks of the earth, sinking deeper until it was gone. The cavern quieted. The heart root pulsed with light, steady and strong. A sigh moved through the earth, carrying relief upward into the forest above. Rowan leaned on his staff, weary but smiling. The forest will heal. Its heart is safe again. Piper drifted to Isabel's side. Her glow dim now, but her eyes bright. The stars gave me just enough. Isabel's voice was soft but sure. The forest gave us its trust, and together we answered. They rose from the cavern back into the moonlit glade. The leaves no longer rattled. The ground no longer stirred. The eternal forest breathed easy once more, and the three stood together, knowing the shadow was not gone forever, only waiting. But so were they, and they would always be ready.